Absolutely. You found two people who are totally into Lord Junior.
Okay.
One of them's named Corbett, like Corvette, but with a B.
Okay. Corvette. Okay. I like
Yeah.
it. Let me write it
And
down.
one of them is named um, Shazza.
Shazza. Okay.
Shazza.
Where the fuck is the pin? Oh, here we go.
So Corbett is she's like a kind of like a punk rocker chick. She's got like one side of her head shaved really smooth, and the other side of her head is sort of like long black hair sort of hanging down. And she's got like a couple of pretty gnarly piercings up on her left
Yeah, she
eyebrow.
does.
Nice.
And
She sounds like a badass.
There's a few more on her, actually.
Evan knows of a couple more piercings on Corbett.
Yep.
Talk to her about cars, and suddenly
She's-
she opens up.
Yeah, she's pretty chill. She's really into Lambo 2. She thinks that big grenade launcher is just the shit.
Yeah.
Shaz is a dude. He just loves the open road and the air. He's kind of a hippie. He's got like long flowing hair.
Okay.
So let's see. And he wears like a bead vest that he just sort of found out somewhere, and he never wears shoes.
Perfect. And I guess to flesh this religion out, one of the biggest tenets of this religion is if you ain't first, you're last. That's one of the things that the
If you ain't
followers
first,
of
you're
Lord
last.
Junior. Yeah, if you ain't first, you're last.
What is this religious figure's name?
What Lord Junior?
Lord Junior.
Yeah.
I have not actually seen Talladega Nights.
Well, that's just
Oh,
that's
man.
that's just a play
Yeah,
on the
you're
fact that
just
like
not getting any of this then.
all the
I've
famous
seen,
NASCAR
like, a
drivers
very-
are Junior.
That's awesome. I've seen like the last 10 minutes of it or so.
Ah.
Corbett, punk rocker chick, piercings. Yeah, okay. So you guys are hanging out. It's the morning, and Bubba,
Yep.
where are you in the morning? Are you still living in Brain's house? Have you sort of made that your house now?
Yeah, I kicked Evan out
Yeah.
when he got his own place, and that's the house is too big to call it my own. So my acolytes also live there with me, or I've offered
Alright.
it to them if they do want to, if they need a place to stay, they can stay there.
Yeah, totally. Shazza often takes you up on that. He doesn't like. Apparently, it's come out that Shazza doesn't really have a house in paradise. He's just been sort of freeloading on people's couches.
Okay,
So he stays with you every once in a while, not always.
sure. Part of the other inside the house, I've set up I found an old in the canyon. One of the reasons I keep going back there is I found a tire iron, and that's what we worship as the holy symbol of Lord Junior. There's a tire iron on the wall.
A tire iron in the canyon.
Yeah,
All right.
that we found, and I've since then transported it back to Paradise into the house.
JP Wheat is reminding me you earned XP for that roll.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
That means you level up, right?
I've got all the bubbles filled now. Do I level up or do I need
Yeah,
another
actually, totally. You totally do.
one? Okay. Well, we can do that for next
Oh,
session.
okay.
I don't need to do that now.
Well, I mean, you might earn more XP, right?
Oh,
So
that's
go
true.
ahead and just like uncheck all your
Sure thing.
bubbles.
Okay.
Based JP.
All right.
What's your improvement, dude? Let us know.
Let me see here. I think get a garage, workspace, detail, and crew would fit the story.
Oh, okay, all right. So, yeah, we'll say that. Like, do you have like a garage out in the canyon? Is that have
Yeah,
you
maybe
set
that's
up?
where I've set a garage out there up. I've
So
cleaned out
awesome.
enough of the canyon rats with
Yeah.
with Corbett and Shazza that
Okay.
we've set up a workshop out there.
So you've got Corbett and Shazza are your crew. You've
Yeah.
got a garage,
Yep. It's been a good
which-
month for Bubba.
which is a workspace.
Yeah.
Now, if you look in I think it's the Savvy Heads playbook,
I'm gonna have to go.
you have a workspace. Yeah. You get a workspace.
Okay. What does that actually mean? Did I just get something that's actually cool?
Yeah, absolutely you did.
I was just like, well, I guess I could tune my car up here.
So when you use your followers or your here's the workspace. On the Savvy Head, you choose which of the following your workspace includes. Choose 3: a garage, a dark room,
it's
a
at the
controlled
top.
growing environment, etc. So detail it out.
Okay.
When you go into your workspace and dedicate yourself to making a thing, decide what. Tell the MC, I'll give you sure, no problem, but, and then 1 to 4 of the following. I don't think you have augury.
Yeah.
Because that would be a different skill. I'll double check on that.
Okay.
Wouldn't it say in the top, like, on his character playbook?
Yeah, well, on the Savvy Heads playbook, it actually has augury right there. And it says when you use your followers or your workspace for augury, roll plus weird. I don't know if that's a default thing from the workspace or if that's specific to the Savvy Head. So I'll look that up during another break that we have a little bit later. Anyway.
And are we like healed up now, or do we
Yes.
still harm? All right.
Take off your harms. It's been long enough that you no longer are harmed.
I kind of like the idea of a controlled growing environment. I like that that's one of the options.
You can totally take that.
Oh man.
Maybe I've coerced with part of the... Evan helped me out, but part of the deal was that he got, a little piece of the controlled growing environment.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So you've got a garage, you've got this controlled growing environment. Yeah, so Bubba, while you're detailing that, let's find out what Emberly's up to this morning. Emberly, where are you in the morning? Do you live with Eli these days?
Let's say we've expanded a little bit, so I have my own place now.
Okay.
I like that idea. Are we just starting from like the morning, like doing our daily thing?
What do you do in the morning? How do you start your day?
All right, I really don't know. I'm trying to think of how I would start my day. I guess I would just check up on peeps, make sure everyone's doing all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure all the things are good. No one's having any problems. We haven't had any outbreaks, any crazy people. Has there been anything that's been occurring lately? Like, I know we had a problem with rum previously, but we resolved that. Are we having any other
It's been a little quiet, right?
issues?
Like,
Gotcha.
There's been a couple more people coming into town, and a couple of them have been from Shantytown. And so you've heard of the increased and infected activity out in the junkyard wastes. But the biggest problem on your mind is sort of fusing twice, hooking up with that asshole Look, who came from Shantytown, and he just seems like he's bad trouble, right? So,
all right, yeah, totally. I think that then in that case too, I would be trying to think of ways that we can fix that problem. Maybe Eli and I having a talk with Fuse and Twice, trying to figure out what the situation is with Look, and seeing if we can resolve that in some way.
Yeah.
Or if there needs to be some bro-fisting thrown down.
Some bro-fisting. I like it. So are you just like strolling around the perimeter of town? Are you checking out like the markets and stuff? This is a holding, so there is a little bit of trade and exchange that happens every day around 11 a.m. or so. People going out, getting gasoline, getting water. I guess you guys do you have like some food plots inside the town? Do you have like a grow op that you're working to keep people fed?
Yeah.
Or do you trade for that stuff?
I think we have some, but obviously we can't grow everything in the area that we're in, so we're definitely trying to like trade for other bits and pieces that we can.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so you get to the fields. sort of the grow space. And Paradise, like despite being only 75 people or so, the outer walls of Paradise actually encompass a fairly large portion of the town. I mean, there's a fairly large space that it encompasses. In the middle, you've got the crane. The crane actually, I figured it's got to be able to drive around when it's necessary to keep building these walls, but maybe it's pretty hard to get started. So Fuse tends to sort of park it in an area, set up his space around it again, and then just stay there for a week or so, and then move on somewhere else.
Sure.
You're by the
sense.
growing, you're by the grow op where there's a couple of cash crops, maybe a little bit of sustenance, and maybe a little bit of pleasure growing out there. And you notice that like there's a couple of people who are usually out growing and they're missing. And a couple of the field workers are just sort of, they glance at you and then they immediately look down and they just go straight back to, tilling the fields or pulling weeds, picking off bugs, that sort of thing. What do you do?
Do I know the name of these people that
Let's see. You look nearby.
are missing?
You see a guy named Rothschild. And you know him. He's been a pretty upstanding guy. He lost his wife, about 9 or 10 weeks back, and only recently has he actually gotten back out to work. And you were, maybe you helped him out a little bit to sort of, realize that there's a future for him, even though there wasn't a future for his wife.
All right. Can I talk to him? But I want to. What's the skill that I have? Trying to remember what it's called, where I can basically kind of read a person.
Yeah, you can read a person.
Yeah.
So read a person is you roll plus sharp, and then you get to ask them some specific questions while you're interacting with them. So if you look
So
on
do
the
I want
basic
to roll that
moves sheet,
first? Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to read a person or do you want to read a charged situation?
What would be a charged situation exactly?
Well, it's kind of like the air in the fields area just feels a little tense. People aren't really making eye contact with you. It looks like there's a couple people missing. So there's something weird going on. Or you could go up and start really interacting with Rothschild. And then in the course of your conversation with him, you could sort of draw out more information by reading him.
I think the second option is going to provide me a little bit more information than I would if I was just doing the whole area. So I think I'm just going to roll for that. And I guess mid-conversation we'll use this roll, or should I roll at that point?
Well, why don't you go up and just start talking, and then you can roll, and over the course of the conversation, you can ask a couple questions.
All right. So I'm going to go up to Rothschild, be like, hey, how are you doing? How have you been feeling lately?
He sort of starts when you come over. He says, hey, Emberly. Yeah, I'm good, I guess. Why? Why do you ask?
You okay?
Yeah.
You don't seem okay.
No, I'm okay, Emberly. It's just a lot of work this morning, I guess. He sort of like fiddles with his hands, looks down, and like, the crops aren't even ready for harvesting. He's working in a lettuce patch or something like that, and they're just like little baby lettuces.
All right, I'm gonna roll, which I rolled a 10.
Look at that.
And I kind of want to know. I mean, let me see what it says here. It doesn't really say anything. Is there somewhere where it talks about what I can read? But anyways, I think that what I want to figure out is like, is he looking at any direction specifically? Is there like, can I figure out like from what he's doing, like why is he acting so afraid?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. He seems like he's like afraid of somebody.
Yeah. Look under the read a person, under the basic moves handout. And you've got 5 questions there. Probably the best one is like, what's your character really feeling? Or maybe how could I get your character to do something? What does your character wish you would do? Feel free to ask any one of those right now and save the other two for later in your interaction with him.
All right. I guess what is he really feeling? I mean, I'll just ask again. Are you really like what's really going on here? Are you feeling
Yeah.
okay?
I mean, he's sort of looking down. His eyes are darting nervously to the side. It's pretty obvious that like someone's put some pressure on him. He's feeling a little bit threatened, but not by you. Like he wants to be open with you, but he's feeling threatened enough that he's not opening up.
All right. And I guess the next thing that I want to get to is basically I want to get him to tell me what's going on.
Mhm.
So I guess that would be how can I get your character to blank, which is tell me what
Tell
is
me
going
what's
on.
going on.
Yeah. And so what does he reply to me with other than I'm under pressure?
Well, that's not him saying it, right? That's you
Oh,
sort of
gotcha.
observing him and noticing how he's feeling and what's going on. I mean, you guys were just sort of talking about, how are things going? He doesn't feel really comfortable in the current situation. He might open up more, for example, if you got him away from the fields.
Okay. All right. Maybe can I do that then? Can I kind of be like, hey, come here for a moment? Like pull him to the side?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he goes with you. He's like, "Oh, yeah. I mean, I got to finish up here. Is it going to be quick, Emberly?"
No, we can be quick. Are you okay? Like really, tell me the truth.
"Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Where are you taking him? Like where are you leading him to?"
I guess what's near the fields?
I mean, there's a couple of
Is
like
there
there's a
buildings
couple
or
of sump
anything?
pumps that are like pulling up water over on the side of the fields. You could go over out by the wall and sort of like, maybe there's like a little hidey hole in amongst the cars you could like, find and just have a quiet moment. Or you could, pull him to, one of the finer establishments in town, pour a drink down his throat, try to get him to open up.
Well,
Totally up to you.
he's in a rush, so I guess kind of off to the side by the wall, maybe just a little bit where we can be alone, but it's not far enough away where he can't
Yeah.
just get back to where he needs to get.
Okay. Yeah, you pull him off to the side, and he starts relaxing, and he says, "Wow, Emberly, I don't I don't like to talk about people, but Look came by this morning.
He came by the fields.
Yeah, he came by. He was talking about something about the crops and how he doesn't think they're gonna hold out this year, and he grabbed a couple of the field workers. He grabbed Newton and Dow, and they sort of went off together, and I don't know what to do, Emberly.
All right. That explains
And
a lot of what's going on. It seems like a lot of people are, acting a little strange over there.
and don't
Do
don't
do we
don't
have
say I
somebody
mentioned
who's?
anything. I
Of
I don't
course,
I
we
don't
didn't do
want to
that.
anger Look.
No one wants to be a Stitch. Do I like? Is there someone that's usually kind of in charge of the people that are working the fields, or um, they kind of
Um,
just manage themselves?
I think they kind of just manage themselves because it's a small enough group that it's kind of co-op, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Thank you so much, Roth. I'm gonna try to figure out the situation. You need to just, calm down, do what you need to do, get your work done. Try not to worry too much about it.
And she says, "Oh, all right, Miss Emberly, I'll try to do that. That sounds just fine." In the meantime, Bubba and Evan, what are you guys doing this morning? Are you together? Are you
We,
separate?
well, are you okay with being together with what we kind of talked about?
Well, I mean, that was a part of my first part of the morning, so we might as well talk about that, JP.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So we have we found a Winnebago out in the canyon, right?
Oh shit.
And in this Winnebago, we devised that we need to start making some drugs. We need to cook.
All right.
And so we have devised, along with my two acolytes, to the best of our ability, we're going to try to make some meth. We've heard of this crazy, powerful, potent drug. It's not perfect
really
meth, right?
meth. It's because we've had to make a lot of substitutions.
Yeah, yeah.
So the interesting thing is that although it has similar properties, it's actually come out much stronger than we could have imagined. So we check this every morning. It's important. Temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain timings. It's very complicated. I won't go too far into it.
All right. Like, how long is the cook period? How long do you guys have to be going out there to mess with this?
If we want a steady supply,
but don't give them your secrets. Just tell them the time. It takes about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
2 weeks.
But it's about a week and a half of preparation. The cook is actually 3 days, but the 2 weeks is important.
Exactly.
All right, so you've got some canyon meth that you guys are working on.
Yeah, we've kept this to ourselves, and I told the two acolytes, if they tell a soul about this, then that is why they were brought into.
Well, I'll kill them.
Yeah. That is the reason why they were brought into Lord Junior's, into the household of Lord Junior, because I
under the umbrella of Lord Junior.
I felt that I could trust them, and while I am a man of Lord Junior, if they fuck up, I'm not liable for what Evan might actually do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
It should also be mentioned that what I got from the city was pretty much the reason we were able to even do this. So that's
some critical ingredients.
I dragged Bubba into this indirectly, unfortunately.
All right, so
that's what we do in the mornings.
While you guys are hanging out talking about your canyon meth,
yeah,
and how you need to go check it out, and Shazza knocks on the door. You can see it's him. You sort of hear him sort of humming to himself. You can kind of smell him too. He's a little smelly.
He's knocking on the door of the Winnebago.
Oh no, are you guys out at the Winnebago? Do you want to start in town?
Oh, wherever you want to start. Totally up to you.
I
was dealing with my fucking dog barking.
I was there this morning.
Okay.
But I mean, Steve, I went back. I've still been doing wall duty because I feel like I should at least, be helping out around it. And I did see one of Rice's goons sort of
scoping out
and about. And I mean, I'm pretty positive. So, after that, and unfortunately, a really shitty run-in with Matilda and Ba, who, they want money, frankly. They want something. They want barter. I'm drinking in the bar. So
okay.
In
the morning.
Just trying to get the edge off. Yeah.
You're drinking some hooch.
I'm not drinking heavily, so.
Yeah, Evan, Shazza comes up to you in the bar. Mm-hmm. You can smell him before he gets there. He sits down next to you, says, "Oh, hey, Evan. What are you having?" He turns to the bartender, whose name is Chak, and he says, "Chak, man, can you get me one of what Evan's having?" Chak sort of looks at you, Evan. He says, "You covering Shazza?"
Yeah, you can put that shit on my tab.
Awesome. Shazza says, "Wow, hey, thanks, Evan. You're a real good guy, real upstanding guy." He grabs a glass of some dirty, toilet hooch, throws it back. He says, "Listen, Evan, I got something to tell you, man."
Yeah?
Yeah, he puts his arm around you and he gets like real close. Like his breath is really stinky.
No, he doesn't. I push him away immediately. Like, hey,
all right. He's like,
what do you got to tell me?
Okay, all right. Listen, man, I know that that Bubba told us not to talk about, and he sort of looks around. He says, about the Winnebago meth.
I grab his neck immediately.
Okay.
And
what do you do?
I take his fucking nasty ass breath for as close as I can be and say, "You shut your fucking mouth right now," and just jerk him to the floor.
Oh, please go aggro.
I went aggro.
Yeah,
That's
roll
exactly what happened. All right.
Oh man. I was thinking Bubba was gonna be the one that was gonna do bar fight, but it's Evan.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
Oh my God. Awesome. All right. So Shazza just falls to the floor. He just falls down. He hits his head pretty hard. He looks like he's going to have a bruise on, like on his back. Or he falls pretty hard on his tailbone. It looks like it hurt. He sort of looks up at you with like tears in his eyes. And he's like, Evan, I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool. And he just sort of runs out. He just runs out of the bar. What do you do?
Well, I sure as fuck don't go chasing after him. I walk back up to the bar. I finish his drink, and then I finish my drink. And I'm gonna at least go find Bubba because
Okay.
you know.
Bubba, do you
Yeah,
do you
what's up?
where are you? Are you going to the bar, or is Evan coming to find you at your place?
I would say that he's coming to find me at my place after our morning routine. I came back to my house, Brain's house, which is now my house, and did a couple of Hell Juniors for the morning's work, and then I was going to meet them at the bar.
Do you have like a religious symbol you keep around your house?
I've turned this. Well, yeah, I've got the tire iron, which is up on the wall. Yeah,
You brought it
it's a
back.
cross tire iron. It's not one of the ones that looks like an L. It's like the full square or the full cross. Yeah, and so I've got that up on the wall with 2 nails right below it up on the wall.
All right, Evan, you come in. You find Bubba in front of the cross, saying his Hail Juniors. What do you do?
Well, out of respect to the man, I wait.
All right,
I wait for him to finish.
Bubba, how long do your Hail Juniors take?
They're quick. They're pretty quick.
right.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Only a matter of seconds. They're very, very quick.
Yeah, Hail Junior. All right,
Yeah. Like I'll walk in, I'll just be like, "Hail Junior, Hail Junior."
Awesome.
If you ain't first, you're last. If you ain't first, you're last. I just like step off. I step away.
Awesome. If you ain't first, you're last. Evan, what do you do when you walk in?
Well, Bubba, sorry to disturb you. Just so you know, Crybaby Shaz or whatever the hell you call him, he came into the bar and listen. You and I both know that there are just some things that we don't talk about, especially in a public place.
What he
and this
do?
son of a bitch.
What'd he do? Or I'm sorry, Evan.
This son of a bitch, Bubba. After I bought him a drink, which I know he's not good for.
Yeah.
He asked me in front of the bartender and at least 3 other people about our little op. Now, Bubba, we haven't known each other long, but you know how I responded. Not nicely.
Awesome.
Evan, is he still breathing?
Yes. I just choked him a little bit and threw him to the ground.
Okay.
He was crying, though.
Okay. Well, where did you have him with him? Where did you take him?
He ran off, and I finished the drink I bought for him, and I mean, we have things to do anyway, so I just came and thought I'd tell you about it.
Yeah. I'll talk with Lord with Acolyte Shazza. He need every now and then he's hard of hearing. You know how those dreadlocks work. They just doesn't get through sometimes.
You talk to him, and you make sure that son of a bitch knows that he doesn't talk about that fucking operation.
Evan, calm down, Evan. You need to relax, buddy. You want to see the bovines? Do you need some help?
Do you need some help?
No, but thank you. I
got a rooster.
I needed that.
All right. You let me know. You got to keep that anger under control, boy.
Emberly, you're finishing your patrol around town, and from across there's a big empty space, and so you're out by where the cement truck is parked, and
Right.
you're just sort of maybe you've made a habit of checking up on it. Bubba likes that. He's really touchy about that truck.
Yeah.
And you see Shazza running across the parking lot, over in the direction of the crane.
Okay.
What do you
That's
do?
odd. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go follow him.
All right.
Maybe not like
Um,
full sprinting, but like, what's going on over
yeah.
here?
Like he looks like he's obviously crying. Like you hear him sobbing as he sort of runs across the parking lot here.
All right.
Um, are you
Do I
trying to
catch up
follow
to
him
him?
like stealthily, or are you trying to catch up to him?
Just trying to catch up to him. I mean, I have no reason to stealth. No
All
reason
right.
to be ninja
Yeah,
right now.
you come up to him. Yeah, you manage to catch up to him. What do you do?
I'm like, hey, why are you crying?
He sort of like wipes his nose. He's like, "Oh, hey, Amberly. Uh, listen, it's nothing. I just, that Evan guy's a real asshole."